Hello, welcome back to our talks. In this episode, I will be talking about the recent gig I've been to, which was Sepultura's on their Quadra tour. I talked about going to it briefly in last week's episode, but in this episode, I get a bit more in depth into it. So on the night, there was three bands playing. Obviously, Sepultura, Sacred Reich, and Crowbar. I have been to Sacred Reich before, a couple of years ago, and I don't think I actually used the venue where they played anymore. It's called the Voodoo Lounge. It's really small room. I'd say you could, if you pack it out, probably get like, I don't know, 200 people at a push. Like, it's a really very small, intimate venue. It's roughly about the size of, say, about a small nightclub or so. It was, because it had the Voodoo Lounge just has a stage and it's just a long area and there's a bar at the back. It's a pretty cool room. I don't think it's used anymore, which is a pity because it's very small and intimate. So that's where I've seen Sacred Reich before. I've never seen Crowbar before. I've heard of them, but I've never actually listened to any of their stuff. So they're, like as I was saying last week, they're not as heavy as the other two bands, but there was a kind of a nice pace of change because you had Crowbar, which wouldn't be as heavy as Sacred Reich, and then you finish off with Sepultura, who obviously one of the leading thrash metal bands that emerged out in the 1990s. And what was really good about the gig is just because it was because of COVID and stuff, it was a reschedule. So essentially, it was supposed to happen last year, rescheduled from the year before because of COVID and all that. So 3 years in the waiting. So I was very happy and glad to be finally going there. It was also in the Academy, one of my favorite places to go to gigs. Another place, I think capacity altogether for the Academy is about. What did I push? Not supposed to push that. I don't know if that's gonna do anything. I pushed the button by mistake that I was supposed to. Whoops. I don't think that'll do anything really, but if you see a weird transition in this video, that's why. But anyway, so what was I talking? Well, yeah, the Academy. So I like the Academy. It's large but yet intimate enough because you go in. There's basically two rooms. There's the green room downstairs, which is a smaller room, and then there's the main room that's upstairs. And that I think that about 500 people capacity or so, from what I remember. I think it's like 560, 580, something like that. Close to 600. But that's fully packed. But that, like I said, that tour has been sold out since for like the last 3 years. So a lot of people held on to their tickets. I only seen a couple of handful kind of ones being sold online. The venue didn't release any more tickets leading up to the gig either, so it was pretty much all the people that had bought tickets from beforehand were, they were, what was I going to say? They basically held on their tickets, I got this pretty cool tour t-shirt while I was at it. Sepultura's performance I really enjoyed, from I think I'd say probably the first time I ever heard of them was I'm gonna look up, give me a second. Yeah, I managed to pull the music list for because it appeared in a DLC for Grand Theft Auto 4 that was called The Lost and the Damned, which followed the storyline of an outlaw motorbike club, and in the clubhouse they always played. So basically, I think the first time, I'd say it probably was the first time I heard Sepultura, but the sound that they had on the soundtrack on the Liberty City Hardcore music station was Dead Embryonic Cells, and I also heard Battery at the Gates and Cannibal Corpse Creator and Entomb were also there. Didn't know that. But if you look, like, the set list is pretty cool. Like, there was what was it gonna say? Yeah, there was, like, that soundtrack for that game is actually pretty good as well. But so yeah, so I've been pretty much. I can't remember when I played that game or when it came out. I think it was around probably 20. No, I don't know. It's probably, yeah. I don't know. You probably look up when it came out. Actually, came out earlier than that. It was 17th of February 2009, but I didn't play it till a couple of years after that. But yeah, so that would have been my first introduction to Sepultura. But that would have been with before Max left the group. Well, that song anyway was before Max Cavalera left the group, and then his brother Igor. And even though there's a new lineup and some people, that was one of the first things actually as well when Sepultura announced they were coming to Ireland. Some people were complaining, saying they're not going to go because not the original Sepultura lineup. But even during the gig, the current lead singer Derek Green, he was like, he said during the gig, he was saying, how many people liked, like, the original Sepultura music. Even he acknowledged it because he joined them in '97 when Max left, and a lot of people started roaring, and he was like, okay, I guess we're gonna have to play some old shit. So which they did, and I have to say, like, overall, very very enjoyable experience. I've got next year. I've got tickets to see Iron Maiden for the first time. I actually met someone in Fibbers that has seen Iron Maiden like 14 times, and I think that in itself is quite an achievement. And I think that about wraps it up for that episode. Oh no, one more band, because the same night in the Fibbers in Fibbers at the after party afterwards, there was a thrash metal band playing. I was told this by people out that was standing outside chatting to a bunch of people, and like, oh yeah, at like 12 o'clock it's gonna be a thrash metal band playing. They're actually friends of one of the people I was chatting to. They're called Unmaker. They are on Spotify if you want to check them out. They're the recently formed band. They formed in like 2020 and recorded their first album during COVID. I bought one of their t-shirts, and see if I can see it. Here it is. I will show you. There it is. Unmaker. At the bottom it says A History of Violence. I think it's the name of their first album. Really good music. It was a perfect way at the end of the night. You know, like, traditional thrash metal band, very heavy guitar riffs, very hard drums, great singing by the lead singer and growling and stuff. I actually met them after the gig and stuff, chatting for a bit, and they were saying, I was asking how long they've been playing and when they formed and stuff like that. Because all the people in the band, they've been playing for quite a while, but not, they were playing in other bands and decided to form a band together. So that was pretty cool. But I think that's pretty much it for this episode, as per usual. I'm gonna promote the podcast sticker that you can buy. It's €250, postage and shipping included. If you reach out to me on my social media, you will be able to purchase one by just messaging me, and I'll get one out to you. In terms of comedy, I have no shows booked for the end of the year, but like I said, Um, I'm gonna try and get to a couple of open mics because that's where dreams go to die, as Uncle Joey said. But no, I just wanna practice in front of a crowd that's not really expecting comedy. Well, they are expecting comedy because of that, but let's just say kind of a non comedy club crowd because I just want to kind of because like if you can make them laugh, you can make anybody laugh really. So it's how I say it's basically like comedy training really. But that's about it. I don't think I've anything else. Thanks for listening. Thanks for all the support so far. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you all next week. Goodbye.